السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، والعاقبة للمتقين، ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. من يهده الله فلا مضل له، ومن يضلل فليس له من هاد. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد، يحيي ويميت، وهو على كل شيء قدير وإليه المصير. وأشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ونبيه ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وحبيبه، أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الأمة. اللهم فصل وبارك وسلم على سيدنا محمد، واجزه عنا خير ما جزيت نبيا عن أمته يا رب العالمين. وأما بعد، my beloved Muslim brothers and sisters, last week, Friday, November 18th, 2015, there occurred a terrorist attack in Paris, comprised of suicide bombings, mass shootings, and capture of hostages. A couple of hundred people were killed, and a few more hundred more people were seriously wounded and injured. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attacks. ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, known in Arab as Daesh, دولة الإسلام في العراق وسوريا. We had to take a good look at this event and analyze it and see, does that reflect our deen, our Islam? If it does, we are going to all follow. But let's run it by the litmus test of the definition of Islam and the directives of Islam as taken from the sources of Islam, the two sources that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us. تركت فيكم ما إن تمسكتم به لن تضلوا بعدي كتاب الله وسنتي. I left you with that which if you hold tight to, you shall never go astray. The book of Allah and my sunnah, sunnah Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. These are our sources. So let me go to the Quran and see if this were to be some sort of a military conflict. Then what does the Quran say about that? And I'm going to quote just one ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 119, wherein Mawla Azza wa Jal says, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. This ayah I chose specifically for a reason. The reason is that this is the first ayah in Quran Kareem that was revealed unto Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that gives the order to engage in military combat. The first ayah. أول آية تأمر بالقتال في القرآن الكريم هي الآية 190 من سورة البقرة. وقاتلوا في سبيل الله الذين يقاتلونكم ولا تعتدوا إن الله لا يحب المعتدين. A very simple straightforward statement. One nonetheless that carries in what is in it the very meanings of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do as Muslims. It's an order to fight back, but it is conditionally. وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That's one. You are fighting only for the sake of Allah. You are not fighting for gaining the lands of others or conquering other nations or doing this or that or worldly gains or fortunes. No. وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That's one. Let's take the second one. الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ. What does this statement say? Those who fight you. You shall fight back for the sake of Allah. Those who fight you. Which implies directly that you are not going to start the fight. But if somebody is being the aggressor, you have the right to and the obligation to defend yourself. So it is never a war of aggression. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala في تسجيل الآية at the end of the ayah says وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. And do not be the aggressors. Do not be the aggressors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like those who are. You see, that embodies the essence of al-qital fi Islam. So in this ayah, you see that it has to be a defensive war, mandated by somebody else triggers a military action against us as Muslims. And it has to be for the sake of Allah. And when you do, you cannot be the aggressors. Subhanak Allahumma. Subhanak Allahumma. This is the ayah of the Quran al-Karim. This is the mandate of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we Muslims are directed to practice. Even when it came to warfare, even in warfare there is an honor. There is an honor that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had taught us alayhi salatu wasalam when he instructed those who were in his army going to the battle. He said to them, do not kill women, do not kill children, do not kill the elderly. Do not burn lands or cut off trees. Do not kill animals, livestock. Do not kill or attack monks in their monasteries. Leave all of those alone in peace. Honor, even in warfare. This is our Islam. This is our Islam. في الصحيحين Bukhari and Muslim, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu warḍah narrates a hadith where the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam did one day what he usually does when the battle is ended and the dust has settled. He walks through the battleground and surveys what's going on there. If there are any Muslims of his Sahaba who are killed, he makes the prayer for them. As he does that, he notices that there was a woman of the other side, of the enemy side, that was killed, a civilian woman. And he stops and points out to his men and he says, why was this woman killed? This is a non-combatant civilian. Why was she killed? Denouncing that you would kill an innocent civilian in warfare, in a battleground. That is our Islam. That is our Islam. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam never waged war unless somebody else was waging war against him. Whenever people chose to go into a peaceful treaty with him, he would extend his hand in peace. Because he embodies the spirit of the Islam, of the Quran. كان خلقه القرآن. And the Quran teaches us, وَإِنْ جَنَحُوا لِلسَّلْمِ فَاجْنَحْ لَهُ. If they chose peace, go along with that. You go along with that. Peaceful coexistence is what we want in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Hujurat, in Ayah 13, says, يا أيها الناس إن خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. All you people, the address here is to mankind, humanity at large. يا أيها الناس. It's not saying يا أيها المؤمنين, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, يا أيها الناس. Muslimin or non-Muslimin. إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى. He is reminding us, all human beings, you have all descended from Adam or Hawa. There is a tie, a bond of humanity that connects you with every other human being on the face of the earth. خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى. And then وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل. Then as you grew, then you went into nations and tribes. شعوبا وقبائل. And قبائل is a small attribute of الشعب. يعني الشعب could be made of a number of قبيلة, right? شعوبا وقبائل. Why لام التعليل في العربي؟ لام التعليل. The reason why did we make you شعوبا وقبائل? To kill one another? To blow up one another? To slaughter one another? ولا لتعارفوا. So you will get to know one another. لتعارفوا. لتعارفوا. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the measure. إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. The one who is going to have the highest status with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has the most taqwa in his heart. So don't stand there and say, I'm better than him. Don't say what I have read on Facebook when a few weeks ago there was this Russian plane that had a bomb explode and over 200 people lost their lives in a flash. People who went into the resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh in Sinai, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, to enjoy a vacation and a beautiful weather, and then to ride the plane back home only to be blown up. Over 220 innocent civilians. And on Facebook, you read the comments saying, so what? They were not Muslims. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. They were not Muslims. Is this a justification, Akhi? Is this a true justification to kill innocent civilians? Wallahi it isn't. Wallahi it isn't. We have to be very clear when it comes to such matters. You and I are living in the Western world as Muslims and Americans. We are Muslim Americans. We belong to this country. We also belong to Islam. And there is really no conflict between the two. Even if some try to frame it as such, and there is a conflict between Islam and the rest of the world. There is none. Islam is a deen of peace. The name Islam is rooted in the deep root is Sin wal Lam wal Mim. In Salam, the root is the peace of that deen of Islam. In the Jannah حياتهم فيها سلام. The deen Islam, submission, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a deen of peace. It's not a deen of aggression, it's not a deen of killing. We therefore have to be very careful for that. And you will hear claims such as, for example, well, they are killing Muslims in the Muslim world, so we have the right to kill them. And they go back to the ayah of Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا أَنَّ النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ وَالْعَيْنَ بِالْعَيْنِ وَالْأَنْفَ بِالْأَنْفِ وَالْأُذُنَ بِالْأُذُنِ وَالْجُرُوحَ قِصَاصٌ. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. They are going to the ayah that says, النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ, a soul for a soul, an eye for an eye. We know the ayah. We know the ayah. But we have to be very careful in understanding what we read in the Quran. When we read the ayah, this is an ayah related to al-qisas, retribution. Retribution is not generic. Retribution is reciprocal. Meaning what? Meaning A inflicted some bodily harm onto B. Does this ayah say that B can go on and inflict similar harm onto C? Walla, it's the other way around. Then B has to get even from he who had inflicted harm on him. And then you can say, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Yes. وَقَاتِلُوا سَبِيلَ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ, those combatants you are given the license to fight against, but not humanity at large yet. Otherwise, there's going to be chaos. The same way that we're seeing in most of the Muslim world today. And see what's going on in the Middle East, all the nations thereof. Chaos is what's happening. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentions in the Hadith Sharif, I will say it in Arabic, so those who have the language may enjoy the words of Rasulullah, and then we translate it, inshallah. And I'm going to ask our brothers in the back to just push a little bit to the front, inshallah. يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم يخرج فيكم قوم تحقرون صلاتكم مع صلاتهم وصيامكم مع صيامهم وأعمالكم مع أعمالهم يتلون القرآن لا يجاوز حناجرهم يمرقون من هذا الدين كما يمرق السهم من الرمية. صدق رسول الله. Here is the essence of the hadith in translation. النبي is predicting وهو الصادق الأمين الذي لا ينطق عن الهوى صلى الله عليه وسلم. He is saying there's going to be a time wherein there are going to be those folks who they're from you, they're coming from you, Muslimin, from you. And when you see their prayer, you will belittle your own prayers compared to theirs. When you see their siyam, you will belittle your own compared to theirs. When you see their deeds, you will belittle your own deeds compared to theirs. Perfect salah, perfect soul, perfect good deeds. But then he adds, يَتْلُونَ الْقُرْآنَ لَا يُجَاوِزُ حَنَاجِرَهُم. Well, they recite the Quran, yes, they do, but it doesn't go past their thoraxes, their vocal cords. Meaning, it doesn't go to the heart. There is no reflection. There is no understanding of what they recite. It's just a vocal exercise. لا يجاوز حناجرهم يمرقون من الحين كما يمرق السهم من الرمية. يمرق يعني, what the translation is, they leave this deen so fast as an arrow gets in and out of its target. When you shoot an arrow into a target, and it is being shot so hard, it will get in and out of the target so fast, ever so fast. So the image here is to imply the speed by which these people are living on getting out of the deen. They are getting out of this deen as fast as that Arab leaves that in and out of that target. Subhanallah. Salah, so good deeds. Quran, nonetheless, all of that is washed away. Yes, Allah. وصدق رسول الله. وصدق رسول الله. Do not be tricked by somebody carrying a black flag just because it says La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Doesn't necessarily mean that that is a representation of Islam because you're carrying the black flag. Look at the deeds. What are the deeds that are happening here? And then make the judgment. Is that consistent with our Islam or not? I have mentioned to you an ayah, a single ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah. And then I mentioned to you the hadith. Hadith. And I couldn't find anywhere in the Quran or the Sunnah anything that says that it is okay to go and blow people up when they're watching a soccer game or sitting in a restaurant having a meal, or hold 100 people hostage, or firing indiscriminately into masses of people. There is nowhere in this deen where this is accepted or permitted. Nowhere is this accepted. So for those who say, yeah, Sheikh, they are doing to Muslimin all of these horrible crimes. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. But if you want to be consistent with your deen, fight those who fight you. Fight those who fight you. Do not be an aggressor against innocent civilians. And if you feel bad because you are being targeted by others and injustice is being inflicted upon you, then I will remind you that النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين is not the ayah that you would want to refer to, an ayah of القصاص, which is a عيني وليس نوعي. It's reciprocal and not generic. No. You know which ayah you want to go to? You want to go to ayah 8, ayah 8 of Surah Al-Ma'idah. ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. This is the ayah. This is the ayah. Do not even let your hatred to some people prompt you to inflict injustice upon them. أبدا. اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Be fair, be just. When you're that way, you are close to taqwa. You are close to piety. This is what our deen teaches. جعلني الله وإياكم ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. توبوا إلى ربكم واستغفروه فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا هو. الحمد لله أحمدك ربنا حمدا يليق بجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. يا حي يا قيوم، يا أحد يا صمد، يا من لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ونبيه ورسوله. اللهم صل وبارك وسلم على سيد خلق الله محمد عبد الله، وعلى من اهتدى بهديه واقتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين يا رب العالمين. أما بعد. My beloved Muslim brothers and sisters, if you test these actions against the basics and the fundamentals of your deen and find that they are conflicting with them, you have to condemn them. You have to condemn them. Otherwise, you would be, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ شَيْطَانٌ أَخْرَسٌ, a mute devil. According to Hadith Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, الساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. You see, haq, you have to speak. For speak out. And I want you to know that this organization, Walnut Creek Islamic Center, had already posted on its website, darulislam.org. You can go and check it out. A statement from its board of trustees denouncing these actions. Denouncing these actions. And offering condolences for all those families who have suffered the losses of the lives of their loved ones. And this morning, I was forwarded an email by a fellow brother in our board of trustees of a message from a Christian lady in Berkeley, in some church in Berkeley, who is writing a message to us, thanking us for your good words and your good stand and the words that you put on your website. And by the way, the words that were published in letters to the editor yesterday in the San Francisco Chronicle. San Francisco Chronicle. The 19th of November, there is a letter to the editor, I believe the title which may have been hijacking a religion or something to that effect. If you can take a look at that, read it. And next week, inshallah, there is going to be another posting in the Contra Costa Times of the same statement that we have already on our website. We have to be clear about such matters, Akhi Muslim. And we have a duty and obligation. An obligation as Muslims living in the Western world to speak loud and clear and state where we stand when it comes to such actions. We condemn such actions. We do not condone such actions. This is not the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a problem. There is a problem. And the problem arises from the fact that many youngsters are indeed in an impressionable age and have the strong passion for the deen that they can be swayed in the wrong direction by the words of a few. And you have now the internet where you can read everything you want to over there. The youth ages, say 15 to 25, this age group is very susceptible for these messages. Messages that incite hatred. Messages that incite violence against the other, which is not what this deen is about, which is not what Islam is about, which is not what the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us, looking at one killed woman, saying, why was she killed? Why was she killed? She didn't fight you back. This is our deen. Let us be the good ambassadors of this deen. You are going to be going back to work and communicating and intermingling with your fellow American co-workers. Speak up and say that this deen is a deen of peace and that we don't stand for that. We don't stand for that. Come visit us here in the Walnut Creek Islamic Center. Anybody is more than welcome. Muslims, non-Muslims, let them come. See what we are doing here. Are these the people who strap themselves in bombs and blow themselves up? Or are these just reasonable Muslim Americans who are only trying to maintain a peaceful coexistence with the rest of the world? اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك يا ربنا سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم يا رب العالمين لا تجعل لنا في هذا اليوم العظيم ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها بعلمك وقدرتك يا رب العالمين. رب آت نفوسنا تقواها أنت وليها ومولاها وأنت خير من زكاها. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وعلى نعمه اشكروا يزدكم ولدكم الله أكبر, and give me 1 minute after the salah for 2 quick announcements, inshallah. وآخر الصلاة.